Today, we are multiplying a whole number by a fraction using a tape diagram. I'm going to show you a couple of examples and then I want to get right on into it because this lesson is a little long today. It's not really hard, it's just a little long, but um, the parts are necessary to comprehend the lesson. So just bear with me and let's go ahead and get started. Now, we're trying to find 3/5 of 35. Now, we learned the quick way to do this is I could say 3/5 times 35, slap a 1 under it, and multiply across, right? Okay. Today, we're actually using tape diagrams. And, I debated on doing the tape diagrams or not, but I realized, I looked at the word problems and the word problems, we could really benefit from the tape diagrams. So let's go ahead and entertain the thought of using tape diagrams today. We can certainly learn from those. Now, so 3/5 of 35. Notice 5, our denominator, that tells us how many parts. Now our whole, I went ahead and I drew that here. This is our tape diagram. And I divided it into 5 parts. And all of it together, like we said, was 35. That's my whole. Now, all of the 5 units together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, they all equal 35. One of the units is 7. And the way I get that was I take the whole and divide it by the parts. 35 divided by 5 is 7. So that's how I get 7 here. So if I know what 1 unit is, it's 7, I can determine what 3 units will be. And 3 units will be 21. Now, if this is a little over your head, after we start working them, I think it will get a little better for you. All right, I've got a hint right here. Find the amount of 1, and you can then find the amount of any of them. All right, and let's look at it in a word problem. It says Amy buys 2 dozen roses, and we know 2 dozen, that's 24. Of these, there's that beautiful word of these, 3/4 are red, and the rest are white. How many white roses did she buy? Well, my whole was 24, so I drew my tape diagram and I labeled it with 24. And I know that 3/4, 4 tells me the number of parts, so I put it into 4 parts. Now, it says of these, 3/4 are red and the rest are white. Well, if 3/4 are red, then one of them, 1/4, would be white. So I could take the 24, right, divided by 4, and that tells me that each one of these are worth 6 each. So I know that you can immediately look and see 3 6s. That means there were 18 red roses and 6 white roses. So when I'm trying to find out what 1/4 of 24 is, my answer is 6 roses. Now I could have just done the math here and did 1/4 times 24, and I would have gotten the same thing. But today, they're really, for some reason, wanting us to focus on some tape diagrams, and I don't want to bypass that and have to come back later and redo it again. So let's go ahead today and let's get this behind us and let's work with tape diagrams. Now, I am in the Learn book today. I am on page 163. So if you'll find that, and if you'll notice, I went to the page and I split it in half on this side. And I went ahead and I got a straight edge. Try to use you a ruler if you can, or the edge of a folder or a book. And go ahead and pause the video and block your page off. Draw a line down the center and then draw a straight line across. Now we're going to be doing a lot of writing on this page, so if you try to do this free-handedly, it may get a little messy and won't look as organized. And math is all about being organized. So take the time, pause the video, and let's block our page off just like this. We won't have to do the back, or we won't have to block off the back, just the front. So pause it and get it ready. Okay. All right. Now, hopefully you've got your page ready and we're ready to get started. Remember, we're using tape diagrams today. Now, we're wanting to find 1/3 of 18. So let's draw our tape diagram. And this 3 tells me how many parts. I want it in 3 parts. The whole thing we know is 18. And they want to know what one of the 3 parts would equal. And this is one of the 3 parts. And if you have trouble drawing these little squiggly lines that I draw, just do this. Do it like that. That'll work. So we want to know what this one part is. We know all of them together will equal 18. So watch this. I've got 3 units. Write that with me. And we know that equals 18. That means all 3 together equal 18. 1 unit equals, to figure out what 1 is, I'm going to take this 18 and divide it by how many we have. We have 3 units. So that'll be 18 divided by 3. And we know that as a fraction looks like this, right? 18 divided by 3. And that equals 6. Now, if 1 unit equals 6, then this is 6, this is 6, and this is 6. But I only need 1. So my answer is just what's in this one. And the answer is 6. The answer is 6. Okay, come down to C. Go down to C and let's work that one. On C, I'll do my tape diagram. This is 3/4 of 24. So my whole tape diagram is going to equal 24. And it's going to be in 4 parts. So let's fourth this. We know to fourth it, you do 1 in the middle and then half those. So they want to know what 3 of the 4 parts are. So they're going to want to know about these 3, right? So to solve that, I'm going to come over here and let's write what we know. Here we had 3 units, but here we have 4 units. So 4 units equals 24. So 1 unit would equal 24, the whole, divided by the number of groups. 24 divided by 4. So if I stack this, 24 divided by 4, that's going to equal 6. So this is telling me that 1 unit equals 6. So this unit is 6. This unit is 6. This unit is 6. And this unit is 6. Now, the problem is asking me what 3 of the 4 are. Here's 3 of the 4. And if I put those together, what do you see? 6 plus 6 plus 6, or 6 times 3, that will give me 18. 18, and I guess I could have put the 6 here and circled it instead of there. So we're leaving this open right now. Follow me here on E. 4/5 of 25. Let's draw our tape diagram. We know the whole thing equals 25. And the 5 tells me that it's going to be in 5 parts. So let's divide it in 5 parts. There's my 5 parts. If I get too fast, now remember to pause it. And they want to know about 4 of them. So let me wrote this off, or however you want to say it or do it. And let's write our words over here. And this helps it all come together. So I've got, here we had 3 units, and that's how we started. Here I have 4 units, but this one has 5 units. So I'm going to say 5 units equals, and there's my total, 25. Okay? So if we know what 5 units are, now we can figure out what just 1 unit is. So 1 unit equals, take the 25, divide it by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know 25 divided by 5 equals 5. So that means 1 unit equals 5. So this unit is 5, this unit is 5, this unit is 5, this unit is 5, and this unit is 5. So if I put my 5s together, 5, 10, 15, 20, then my answer is 20. So 4/5 of 25, or 4/5 times 25, equals 20. So here we're just basically looking at it in a model form. All right, let's look at G. Let's draw our tape diagram. And we know the tape diagram altogether equals 9 because of the 9 holes there. And this 4 tells me that this is going to be in 4 parts. So I'll half it here and then half my halves. There's my 4 parts. Now I'm ready to start my words, writing my units over here, and that'll help this start coming together. All right. How many units do I have in all? 1, 2, 3, 4 units equal 9. Okay? So if 4 units equal 9, then I need to figure out 1 unit equals, take the whole like we did earlier and divide it by how many units we have, 4. Now we know this won't work out evenly, right? Because 4 will not go into 9 evenly. They threw this on us. See, this is 9/4, 9 divided by 4. And we can do that. It's no big deal. Top number goes in. Now we're going to divide 4 going to 9 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8. Subtract 1, rock around the clock, 2 and 1/4. Now that's what 1 unit is, 2 and 1/4. So I'm going to put 2 and 1/4 here, 2 and 1/4 here, 2 and 1/4 here, and 2 and 1/4 here. Now they're wanting to know what 1 out of the 4 would equal. So I just want one of these. So I would just say 2 and 1/4. Now, if they wanted to know what 2/4 were, I would take these and add these together. Does that make sense? Let's circle it. Hopefully, this is coming together a little better for you. All right, let's look at I. They threw something a little different on us. They said 2/3 of a number, we don't know what that is 10. There's a mystery here. So let's look. 2/3 times something is, that means equals 10. All right, let's draw our tape diagram. Now we know before they were able to tell us, let's see. It says 2/3 of a number is 10. What's the number? So here, I'm trying to decide if I need this 10 right here just yet. I'm going to leave that blank. So if you put that down, erase it. 2/3 of a number is 10. Okay, yes, I do want that. But 10 is not my whole. We don't know what my whole is yet. We don't know. See up here, 1/4 of 9, that was what my whole was. 4/5 of 25, 25 was my whole. 2/3 of, our whole is a mystery. So we could say our whole is a mystery right now. But we know that it's in 3 parts. So let's third this. We know this is in 3 parts, and we know 2 of the 3 parts equal 10. Hopefully this is coming together for you. So think about it. What would these two have to be if they're the same number to add together to give me 10? I hope you thought of 5. 5, 5, and if these are 5, then this one is 5. So what number are we looking at as my whole here? What's my whole number? I hope you're saying 15. I hope you're saying 15 because all of these together would add to give me 15. Okay? Let's look at the back. And by the way, on this one, I didn't do the units like we did on the others because it sort of started coming together when we got it right here. And I thought that would be a little easier for you. All right, now let's turn over again. Sorry. Now we're still using our tape diagram. All right, it says there are 48 students going on a field trip. 1/4 are girls. How many boys are going on the trip? How many boys are going on the trip? All right, let's set up our problem. 48 students, that's in all, and I want to know if it says 1/4 are girls, how many are boys? So let's figure out what number are girls and what's left will be the boys. So if I draw my tape diagram, I know that accounts for all 48 students, right? All 48 students. And we're fourthing it. So let me fourth this because it's in 4 groups. And it says one of the groups, 1 out of the 4 are girls. So here's my girls. So if this is girls, then these, what's left? They could only be boys. Now, they want to know how many boys are going on the trip. Well, let's start working with writing our units down. We know we've got 4 units, and that equals 48 in all. We're doing this just like we did the front. And 1 unit would equal 48 divided by 1, 2, 3, 4. And we know that 48 divided by 4 equals, I hope you're saying 12. So that means 1 unit is 12. So that means this one is 12. Then this one would be 12. And this one would be 12. And this one would be 12. Now, if 1/4 are girls, then 3/4 are boys. I've got 3 12s. 12 times 3 equals 36. So there were 36 boys on the trip and only 12 girls. 36 boys and 12 girls. If I added those together, 36 plus 12, that should give me 48, which would be for all of them. All right, let's look at B. B incorporates some geometry, some things we haven't covered yet, but we're going to make the best of it and just go through and talk about it. Now, we've got 3 angles here. We've got 3 angles. Here you see there's an angle. There's an angle. And then this small, there's an angle right there on the bottom. There's my 3 angles. It says they're labeled with arcs. These are my arcs. These kind of slanted lines, these half circles. It says the smallest angle is 3/8 as large as, that means of, is 3/8 as large as 160 degrees. So they're saying that this is going to be 3/8 of 160. Find the value of angle A. Okay, so got a lot going on here. Bear with me and just let's try to get this going. Now, one thing I'd want to point out is all of these come together, all of these angles would all come together to form a circle. Now, this is something we'll learn in our next module. Keep in mind that a circle equals 360 degrees. That means I would have to add this degrees or this degree and this degree, all 3 together and equal 360. We'll come back to that in a minute because we'll need it. Now it says the smallest angle, which is this one, is 3/8 as large as this angle. So let's draw our tape diagram. And we know all together this is going to equal 160 because we're actually trying to find 3/8 of 160. Okay? So that's where I'm getting my whole from. And the 8 tells me I want this into 8 equal parts. So let's do fourths, and then we'll half the fourths. Half it here. Then let's half my halves. That gives me 4. Now let me half all of my fourths. Now, what I've got, I want 3 of these because 3/8 will equal whatever this angle is. So, to set this up, remember, we know that 8 units equal the whole, 160. I got my 8 units from counting the blank squares in my tape diagram. So 1 unit equals 160 divided by 8. And this will be real easy because if you think about it, 16 divided by 8 is 2, and then just bring my 0 down. So that's 20. So 1 unit is 20. So this one is 20, this one is 20, this one is 20. And all of these will be 20, 20, 20, 20, 20, right? So 3/8 of this, what would these equal together? 20 times 3 would be 60. Okay? So it's telling me 3 angles are labeled below with arcs. The smallest angle is 3/8 as large as means of the 160-degree angle. And then they're telling me find the value of angle A. So we've got to go and find the value of A in just a minute. But first, let's label this. We know that this angle has already been labeled. It's 160. And we found that this one was 3/8 of 160, and it is 60 degrees. They want us to find angle A. Now remember I told you a circle altogether is 360 degrees. Let's add what we have and subtract it from 360. So I've got 160 plus 60. That's 220. So now I'll take the 360 minus these, which would equal 220. And let's see what's left. 140. So angle A would be 140 degrees. So A equals 140 degrees. I didn't really like that they put this problem in because there's a lot of things on here we haven't covered yet. So I apologize if this confused you royally. So hang with me. Don't lose me yet. This will at least give us a preview of what's to come in our next module. So just remember, all of these angles have to add together to get 360. Now, let's go look at C. All right, it says Abby spent 5/8 of her money and saved the rest. If she spent $45, how much did she have at first? Now, this is one of those where we've kind of got to go backwards a little bit and go back to where she started to find out what she had in the beginning. So we know that if this is in 8 parts, I need a tape diagram divided into 8 parts. So we'll do 4, we'll half it, then half the halves, and then we will half those, and that'll give me 8 parts. Now, we don't know what the whole is because the whole is what she spent at first. So this would be at first, right? We don't know that yet. But what we do know is that 5 out of these 8 equal $45. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look what it said. 5/8 of her, she spent 5/8 of her money and saved the rest. So this was saved. This was spent. And this was saved. And it says she spent $45. So we can go ahead and label this $45. Now think about it. What would each one of these have to equal to be $45? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 of these. 5 times what will give me 45? I hope you're thinking of 9. So if these are 9, if each unit is 9, then each unit over here is 9. So what did she save? 3 times 9 is 27. And they want to know what she had at first. So I've got to put this all together. So I'll say 45 plus 27. That's $72. She had $72 at first. $72 at first. One more. Bear with me. We're almost there. Mrs. Harrison used 16 ounces of dark chocolate while baking. 2/5 of the chocolate, she used 2/5 of the chocolate to make some frosting and used the rest to make brownies. How much more chocolate did Mrs. Harrison use in the brownies than in the frosting? Okay, here's another one. Let's just go right on into it and draw our tape diagram. Now, we do know our whole. Here we had to put a question mark, but we do know our whole here was the 16 ounces of dark chocolate. Okay? And it says she used 2/5 to make some frosting. This 5 tells us we want this into 5 groups. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that gives me 5 groups. So we know that 2/5 was used to make frosting. So the rest was used to make brownies. Okay? Now, let's think about this just a minute. I just need to take 16 and divide it by my number of units. So if I say 16/5, right? That means 16 divided by 5. Five will go into 16 3 times. 3 times 5 is 15. Subtract 1, stop and rock, 3 1/5. So we just figured out if we take 16 and divide it by 5, this tells us what one group is. So this was 3 1/5. This was 3 1/5. 3 1/5. 3 1/5. And this is 3 1/5. Now, they want to know how much more chocolate did Mrs. Harrison use to make brownies than in the frosting? Well, the frosting, if I put these together, 3 plus 3, that's 6 2/5. The brownies, 3, 6, that's 9, 1, 2, 3/5. I've got to subtract these. But remember, we can't say 6 minus 9. Remember, they're saying how much more did she spend, use the chocolate, how much more chocolate did she use in the brownies than the frosting? So brownies has to go first. So I would say 9 3/5 minus 6 2/5. And my answer, simple subtraction, thankfully, 9 minus 6 is 3. 3 minus 2 is 1/5. So she used 3 1/5 ounces more to make the brownies. And that's my answer. Now, this is what you're doing something a little different for me today. Today, I want you to go back and these that we left blank, I want you to do these on your own. I want you to rely on what we put over here to help you with these. Look at how we did it. I want to see you write out the units just like we did. Draw your tape diagrams. If you follow these steps, you should be fine. Now, this last one, J, you're going to do it like you did I. You've got to find a mystery number. So work on trying to find that mystery number. I'll give you a little hint of a number. We don't know what that is. So you're going to have to find 3/4 times 24. That's going to give you 3 of the 4 sections. It won't give you the whole. You're going to have to figure the whole. But remember, if you know what one set is, if you know what 1 is, then every other one gets that same number. So after you finish, I want you to take a picture of this side and this side, and I want you to send it to me in a text. If you have any questions or concerns, get back with me. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.